Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Yovavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Sagana Bhavatu Saganau Bhunaktu Sagaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the pursuit of knowledge is not negotiable. There is therefore no choice between the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of anything else. There is no choice for moksha's sake. Once the Shreyas is chosen, pursuit of knowledge is open. There is nothing else opens for you. This alone one has to pursue. And therefore, the doubt in Arjuna was, why not I pursue knowledge excluding everything else? You understand how beautiful is the topic here in the Gita. Beautifully organized. The pursuit of knowledge, what he said, Yesha te abhihita sankhye buddhihi. Yoga to Imam Shrunu, he has already talked about this yoga. Arjuna is not convinced that there can be parallel paths. He wants to hear from Krishna whether there is a parallel path. Or there are many paths. And one of them is this path of intellection, for the intellectual. Is it one of them? After all, there must be many ways. They give an example also. If there is a temple on the top of the hill, you can go, many ways you can go to the temple. You can, in Tirupati it happens now, you can go by steps and you can also go by road and you can walk, you can be carried and you can roll also. They roll and go on the road. Go window, go window, go window. They roll on the ground and then they go. One roll, namaskar. One roll, do namaskar. One roll, namaskar. Like this they reach from their village to the temple. It takes 6 months or something. There are people who do all this. Go window. So this go window. Generally you hear it, go window. So this is then you can go rolling. on the ground. You can go by a helicopter, service is available. Or you can go by car, by bus. There are many ways. After all, to God there are many ways. I told that fellow that is true. Through an example, don't argue. Because I will give a counter example and then I'll finish it. True, sir, you can come through many ways. But the only way you can enter into the temple, in the main temple, is that the main shrine is that door, one single door. You have no other. Now what are you going to do? And therefore I say there is only single door. You have no other way of entry into the temple. You can come around somewhere around the temple in many ways. But entry into the temple is only through that one single door. Now what are you going to do? Your accommodation is finished based on example. This example-based logic is considered to create fool's paradise, understand? So that is the means for all that. And you can never fall for it. And so the example is only to introduce what we call the existence of an invariable concomitance. So the invariable concomitance means one is there, the other must be there. So that is not here. And therefore another example will finish it. Don't conclude on the basis of example. And example is used in order to reveal the vyapti, existence of the vyapti. So there is such an invariable concomitance. Because of our experience, this is how it is. Unless there is smoke, unless there is fire, there cannot be smoke. So that kind of knowledge we have already, we can cite an example. The citing an example is to prove the existence of this kind of invariable concomitance between two things. So one thing you see, the other will be there. That's all example is about. Not that you conclude on the basis of an example. There are many roads are there to temple, therefore there must be many ways for you to see. There is no such thing. There are only one way. I say, there is only one door to the temple, finally, and that is how you also see. There is only one pair of eyes you have got to see. There is no other way. Understand? And therefore, here, so this kind of different paths are there, different pursuit of knowledge is not negotiable, because what do you want to be is what you are. And therefore you have to know. So I am not denied of experience of the self, because all that I experience is the self. And therefore every experience is the self. There is no experience which is not self. Every experience is the self, as we have seen. Not self is the self. And therefore there is no such thing as denial of experience of the self. There is only non-recognition of the self. And therefore, so once we understand this, then the pursuit is knowledge, there is no other pursuit. And then again, in the pursuit of knowledge, the means of knowledge also is not negotiable, because it is not for want of a means of knowledge my existence is denied. So because I know that I am, and for which I don't require any means of knowledge, but I am the cause of the world for which I require a means of knowledge, and that is what Shastra is. So that is also not negotiable. That it has to be handled by a teacher, etc. also I don't think is negotiable. Maybe because previously you had enough teachers, this time perhaps you don't require a big teacher, but somebody has to say this, and therefore, so that is also I don't think negotiable. So all these are not open to option. If this is so, why are you asking me to do karma? Arjuna's question is clear. Therefore, I pointed out to you here, this knowledge is something. requires a certain person. It needs a person there, not a mind, please. It's not mind, the person, an equipped person. A person who has a certain completeness in the person's adulthood. Understand? So, adulthood, from childhood, boyhood, youthhood, then afterwards what? Adulthood. From hood also, adulthood. So this adulthood is what we say the growth. Complete growth is necessary. The area of growth I have pointed out, that there is an emotional area of growth. And not only emotional structure has got to be properly reinforced, then the moral structure also has to be properly reinforced, because the emotional structure, if it is not properly reinforced, then it affects the moral structure too. Structure of morality comes under pressure. Your conformity to the values that you yourself expect from others. So those values, structure of values, which you want others to conform to, those values you compromise. So you compromise with those values, you go against them. That means what? You come under the pressure of what? Of what was given to you as a privilege. What was given to you as a privilege was desire, raga, and what was that? Dvesha. So what was given to you as a privilege has transformed itself into a source of all kind of pressure. So this pressure alone is the cause for non-conformity to dharma. Don't think there is an adharmic person. There is no such adharmic person in the world. All of them know exactly what others should do to them. And this, there is no compromise here, there is no variation here. So the whole world expects, everybody expects the world to behave in a certain manner. I should never get hurt, and nobody should hurt me, including mosquitoes. They should not bite me. You better go to that person, not me. Whole world, all the planets also, if they have got an influence over us, then they all should bend to shape me into the person I want to be. All of them, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, all of them should help me. If they don't help me, at least don't disturb me. And thus you find, so this, the whole world we expect from the world a certain behavior patterns. And the world expects the same thing from us, also is known to us, and therefore nobody can plead ignorance of this, what we say, moral values. And these are universal. More of this we will be seeing. And when they are so universal, how come that I go against that? Because of pressure. What pressure? The pressure of the privilege. Understand? The privilege has become a pressure. It's true. What is in the beginning a luxury becomes what? A necessity. Car was a luxury in the beginning. First time when the fellow got the new car, he goes on. So washing it, rubbing it, polishing it. Wow. So all this, waxing, we call it. So waxing it and waxing eloquent also about his car. So this is the car. In fact, if the road is slushy, he doesn't take the car out. He walks. So that is the fellow car. So keeping it clean, made a car, luxury. He can be without it. After some time, the car is not even taken to be something that adds to his existence. His great status, etc. is gone. It becomes a necessity. Otherwise, without it, he loses mobility. Correct? loses mobility. Really. Nobody thinks that I have got a car. In the beginning, there is, at least in India, you have got for 1 or 2 years car. I have a car. And then afterwards, there also it is the same. Here, nobody thinks that you have a car. If you don't have a car, why? That's the question. If you don't have a car, are you from New York? That's the next question. That is the next question. Oh, you are a New Yorker. Oh. Not only New Yorker, Manhattaner. You are from Manhattan. Then you don't require they say we don't require a car. In fact, these fellows don't buy a car. Some of them don't know driving 35 years old, I tell you. They are like our mamas in India. And so this is how it is. And that here that you having a car is not a big deal. And therefore, what I say, anything that you look upon it as a luxury becomes a necessity. So that means what? So the necessity means, if this necessity is denied, then the denial of necessity causes pressure. Correct? Causes pressure. And we have imagined a necessity that I need to be somebody. That's true. You need to be somebody. Already I thought you were somebody. It's okay. You need to be somebody. All right. So in order to need to be somebody means that what is that somebody? You have a definition of that somebody. Then I should reach there. So you're putting pressure on yourself. It's not privilege of ambition. You have the privilege of having an ambition. It's not just ambition. It gives pressure. It puts pressure. You can have ambition as a privilege. As long as you don't have the pressure to pressurize you, to cut corners, to go against those values, the value structure, then you are in charge, correct? You don't come under the spell of this privilege desires. The privilege is what we call the power that you have, this privilege that is the power of desiring, that you don't come under its spell, you keep them with you. It's like a dog's tail. The dog is wagging the tail. It's good. But if the tail wags the dog, and the dog cannot afford to have the tail, okay? Even if the tail is cut, that stump of the tail that is there, it will still wag. Understand this? And that means what? That is the whole thing is reversed. So this situation, with this situation, the person is interested in Shreyas. That's not a bad thing, because you can desire for moksha also. That's a privilege. Only a human being can get moksha. That is on this planet. That is also a privilege. That's far you have to go. I won't say no further, because there is nothing further. Understand? Thus far alone you need to go. I don't say thus far you can go. No. Thus far you need to go, because you can't, you need not go any further. There is nothing to go further once you say, I am the whole. Correct? Finished. And therefore, this is the ultimate. You are capable of that because you are that. So, but it is in terms of pure knowledge. Pure jnana. What is this pure knowledge? Impure knowledge. Because it's not knowledge with certain other things, because it is not knowledge of a recipe. Theory, practice, knowledge. I have got recipe. You see, what is the use of saying that you are Ananda? This is another popular talking. Popular Vedantic talking is this. So this is all theory. I had a talk with this Maharishi Mahesh Yogi years ago. So when he was becoming popular, so at that time that I had to meet him somewhere, and then in Krishikesh, I talked to him. And then he said that I was telling that I was teaching Vedanta somewhere. I told him this. Then he said, oh, this is a practical, we believe in practice, not in theory. See, that was a red rag for me. I charged immediately. So this fellow was just showing this red rag. So this is that's it. Well, then I asked him, what is theory? Nowadays I don't do that. So previously I used to do this. What do you mean by theory practice? I say, you are Brahman, is it theory? You are seeing me is theory or practice? Are you practicing me? Or you are theorizing me? Yeah, you are operating a means of knowledge, do you know? And I say that I try to remember what he said. You know, Swamiji, so if you go inside, slowly, you go inside, go inside, then you come to know Brahman. Why should you go inside? Brahman is everywhere. Why do you Brahman is everything, why do you go inside? That is practice, Swamiji. Okay, what I say, that is wrong even to talk to. I thought he had a beard, and therefore, means because he had a beard, I thought he would think. Because I always thought all bearded people would think. That's what I thought, because I had one beard, and therefore I thought he also got a beard. Both of them are bearded. Therefore, I think that I am a thinker, and then he also must be a thinker. Otherwise, he won't grow beard. Then afterwards, I understand there is no connection between thinking and beard. So I understood. What a discovery! Maharishi helped me discover that. There is no theory or practice here. That is true, there is theory practice. It's not a recipe book. How to make enchilada. How to make enchilada. So it is a big thing. Enchilada is a big thing. Ekiada, big thing. So anyway, how to make enchilada. They call it enchilada. What is that enchilada? How to make? You read. Every day morning you read. Enchilada. Yeah, this is not a matter for japa. So you won't get, so whatever that you read, it will not appease your hunger. And it won't be there also. You stand before the stove and say, enchilada, nothing will come. And therefore, so how do you get this? You have to do, correct? You have to do. Without practice, it's called practice. Why practice? Do. No. First time it never comes proper. Second time it doesn't come proper. Third time it doesn't come. In fact, all the 3 times it came proper. So this person doesn't like it. And therefore that doesn't come proper. Then 4th time it came proper. This is called practice. Therefore, they always say, cooking is to be practiced with having somebody who is sympathetic or who cannot run away from you. And that is why, that's why cook after marriage. Therefore they say that. So this is what we say. So this theory and practice. Here you are not cooking Brahman, understand? So you are not cooking Brahman. The cook is Brahman, understand? So the cook is Brahman, cooked is Brahman, cooking is Brahman, the whole blessed thing is Brahman, this is you, Brahmarpanam, Brahmakavigi, Brahmagrav, Brahmanahutam, anything, every karaka, the subject, the object, the doing, everything is Brahman. So you have to know. So why karmani gore mam niyojasi? True. That is true. That's true. You are Brahman, you have to know. Then allow me to become a sadhu. I will walk away from Kurukshetra to Rishikesh, Paidal mein. So you can walk. Kurukshetra to Rishikesh, the distance is not far away. You know, you can go on foot, easy. That is Arjuna's position. He says, as long as you come under your ragadvesha, you don't have the eligibility, the qualification to understand. You have the qualification to desire. You have the qualification to desire. Desire for White House president, White House job. So you have got the desire for presidentship of America. You have got the qualification because you are born here. You are a born citizen, and that means you have got a right to become the president of America. But, so you have to find out, do you have the eligibility? There are a lot of things which constitute your eligibility. The fire, the sustaining power, lot of things, okay? I don't want to get into that. And therefore, there's nothing wrong in your desiring for this knowledge. In fact, it is good that you desire. Now you have to see whether the person is ready. This is what Lord Krishna said, Nishtha. Either you choose a Nishtha called Sannyasa, where you are completely absolved from all duties. You are, because this whole Vedic culture is a culture of duties. It is a moksha culture. And therefore all jobs are considered duties. You are born there, so in a given situation, and there by birth itself what is going to be your job is decided. Goldsmith's son is going to be a goldsmith. He is going to marry the daughter of another goldsmith. This is how it was. Even today, the priest is the son of a priest, and then whose grandfather was a priest, and his grandfather was a priest, all of them priest family, and then he married the daughter of a priest. It's true it is. Even today that is maintained. Not that every son has become a priest. Every son is not a priest anymore. Some of them are .com people. But, so this is how it is. So why? Because, so that is what the duty. Now you can understand duty. And therefore, so what do you do? So this is because there is no, any other thing is not there. So you live your life of duty. And become on top of your own raga and dvesha. Tayoho vashamna agachet. You don't come under their spell, you come on top of them. And then you will find whatever you have been hearing, whatever you will hear, they all become real to you. This is first growth, understand? But we are not proposing a parallel path. Arjuna wants to know a parallel path. There is no parallel path because yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tektva atma shuddhaye. The word shuddhi is used. Shuddhi means purity or cleanliness or this purification. So they will say you must have inner purification. This is another problem. So inner purification, unless you have inner purification, mental purification, all words used. Purification means what? Do you have some detergent or what? What do you spray some detergent on your mind? What is the inner mental purification, inner purification? Nothing. Just not to come under this spell of ragadvesha. How do I know? Watch your life. whether you cut corners, whether you follow dharma. I follow dharma with lot of pressure. That means you are okay, you are in the process. You need to be spontaneously dharmic. When you are spontaneously dharmic, you don't come under a pressure of any ragadvesha. Ragadvesha has become privileges. Understand? So these two things go together. Ragadvesha, conformity to dharma, both ragadvesha management is nothing but your capacity to conform to dharma. That means you are not under the spell of ragadvesha. Therefore Krishna said, Tayoho vashamna agachet tauhasya paripantinau. For you, these are the two shatrus for a person. Shatrus means enemies. And so, all right, this much is understood. And therefore, you sannyasas, for 5th chapter, sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptumayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena gacchati. Sannyasastu mahabaho. Mahabaho, oh mighty armed Arjuna, not long armed Arjuna. You know in English what is long armed? Long armed means pickpocket, understand? Long armed means a fellow who thieves. He is called long armed fellow. So long armed is not mighty armed. Oh Mahabaho. You may be wonderful, but sannyasaha. Sannyasa, nyasa means renunciation. Sannyasa means renunciation. Like in the fall, the leaves fall. The world falls of you. Old pursuits fall of you. And that kind of sannyasa, where you are objective, totally objective. Your pursuit is so very all-consuming. You are not under the spell of ragadvesha, either because of a life of karma yoga in this life, or you had lived a life like this before and you are completing it here, since we include that previous lives also in this. And therefore, so whatever you have now, suppose that kind of a mind means that you are that kind of a person, then you are ready. It's a walkover for you. And therefore, sannyasaha tu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha. Ayogataha vina karma yogam, without a life of karma yoga. It is not possible to achieve sannyasa. Sannyasa is not just one day you decide and become a sannyasi. And therefore, even vividisha sannyasa. So for the sake of knowing, one can take to a life of sannyasa. There's nothing wrong in that. But then real sannyasa waits there. Real sannyasa is knowing. And therefore we will talk about that later. Therefore, sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yuktaha karma yogena yuktaha. The one who is endowed with karma yoga attitude, then you will find some munihi, viveki. That's why munihi, the word is there. Yoga yuktaha, karma yogena yuktaha. Not moratatma, is munihi. So this karma yogena yuktaha means not somebody who is extrovert or anything. Neither introvert is qualified, nor extrovert is qualified, or a convert, or any word, So is quite a pervert is qualified. And who is qualified? The one who is qualified, who is person, who is grown-up person, a complete person. So the complete person is qualified, the one who has relative cheerfulness, relative compassion, relative love. So all these must be very natural to the person. Then everything is qualified. That is their life growth, that is the growth in life. That's why I say, for this pursuit of knowledge, somebody said, what are the things I require? We don't require anything except you. Me, I am available. No, you are available for too many things. In your house, the furniture is having a part of you. And if you have got a very costly carpet, that has got a part of you. And you got some people, everybody has taken away. In fact, what is there in you is nothing. Some tick-tick, that's all. Tick-tick means what? Heart. Ticking heart. Ticking heart you have got. But everything else is all over the heart. Everywhere. In the house, in the plant, in this, in that, in that. It's not that you should develop a vairagya towards this. I am seeking spiritual. Means what? I am seeking Brahman. So Brahman means what? So I am giving up everything. I am going after Brahman. It is not here, understand? Brahman is not here. What you want to give up, that is also Brahman. Ayyo. So this is the problem. So what you want to give up is Brahman. And what you are after is Brahman. And therefore, what are you going to do now? Grow up. One has to grow up as a person. And naturally, so that is sannyasa, means nyayasya nitya sannyasi yona dveshtina kankshati. He is a sannyasi who is free and who has things who neither he is after nor he is afraid of. Therefore, Arjuna, your whole life is means, because you are needed. Nothing else is needed. You are needed. But I am there already. No, you are incomplete. You are lost in many things. This thing, that thing, because not understanding what is what. The attitude being not proper, you have got exaggerated. So this value structure, you add values to things which they don't have. Then afterwards, you come under them. Then you say, they control me. We have to get away from the world. You don't need to get away from anything. You get away from your confusion. And that is not possible. Oh, that is what I am going to just remove all my thoughts, empty my head, all confusion will go away. Yes, for the time being. Because when the head is empty, you are safe. When the head, then again you begin to think, what happens? Confused. Understand? And therefore you have to keep the head empty. Hilna nahi, so kuch na kuch aayega. So this is confusion goes away by clarity. Look at 8-year-old boy is initiated into Gayatri, the mantra. And then what is the meaning of the mantra? 8-year-old boy, the entire future is there. There should be a prayer for health, prayer for power, prayer for education, prayer for this, prayer for that. No. There is only one prayer. Prachodayat. Naha diyaha prachodayat. Not only my mind, our minds. Diyaha means minds. Our minds. So may that Lord let our minds on tracks of right decision, right thinking. May that Lord brighten our minds. Correct? If you are able to make right decisions, that's enough. That's enough. All success is right decisions. Therefore, it's one of decisions. Life is a series of decisions. It's not only in stocks. Decisions. Decisions are all the way. Whole life is decisions. We don't know which is right, which is wrong. It's not that clear. That's the prayer. Look at the prayer. And that's the prayer they are asked to do. Children are asked to do. Value for mind. And therefore, the culture itself is moksha culture, duty culture. We will analyze that later. And therefore, this capacity to bring all these raga dveshas under control, then you can be a sannyasi. And in order to achieve that also pursuit, you can take to a life of sannyasa. Therefore, here he says, one choice is between two. You can choose a life of sannyasa, pursuing this knowledge, and that is called nishtha in jnanam. In the pursuit of jnanam, nishtha. That is was otherwise called sannyasa. But the Bhagavan uses the word sankhya also for the life of sannyasa. Then the other one is a life of karma yoga. Between sannyasa and karma yoga there is a choice. The sannyasi also has to gain knowledge. Karma yogi also has to gain knowledge. Karma yogi also pursues knowledge. But then he lives, one gives up all duties, pursues the knowledge exclusively, absolved from all duties. That is the Veda. The Veda is, Vedika's life is one of duties. And you are absolved of duties. And you are told, pursue. If you want to pursue this knowledge exclusively, pursue. No problem. Pursue. But pursue only that. Don't start an agarbatti factory there. Pursue. Incense factory, etc. Pursue that knowledge. Correct? Pursue that knowledge. Or live your normal life. Then how will I get? Pursue. Here also pursue. Normal life and pursue. What for? Why should I pursue normal life, etc.? Why? Because you have to become a person. So that who is on top of raga and dvesha. Therefore, what is shuddhi? Shuddhi means what? Not coming under raga dvesha. That is called antakarana shuddhi. It's a particular word. Antakarana shuddhi means, antakarana means, the mind is called antakarana. Antakarana shuddhi. Really speaking, it is about you only. Mind is always shuddha. Because thought is kshanika. Vritti is kshanika. Vritti means a thought form, a thought frame. It is kshanika. It is only momentary. And therefore it is always shuddha. Manaha is always shuddha. It keeps itself shuddha. You don't do anything. It's a person with all his memories and with all his problems and all that. It is a person that has got to subject. That person has to subject himself, herself to a process of what we call the neutralizing process of raga and dvesha. Then you put them in their own places. They are harmless. They become privileges. And that capacity, that to look at them as privileges, is called yoga rudatvam. You are on top of raga dvesha. You are karma yoga rudaha. You are called karma yoga rudaha. Aruda means one who has mounted. The mounted the horse of karma yoga. Iti, Lord Krishna talks about this. All in the first 6 chapters, all these are talked about in a very big way. In the 2nd chapter itself, he talks about what is this karma yoga, saying in 2 words what is karma yoga: samatvam, kaushalam. These 2 important definitions. One is, so he says, he says this, the samatvam yoga uchyate. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. This is one definition. The other definition is yoga karmasu kaushalam. Both the definition in the second chapter. We are going back now. So, yoga karmasu kaushalam. So, these are the two definitions. Look at the word, this karma yoga, about which I am going to tell you, Arjuna. He said, yoget imam shrunu. Then he talks about this, please listen to me about yoga. Then he tells this, samatvam yoga uchyate. So, sama means the same. The abstract noun is samatvam, the sameness. The sameness is called yoga. You have to define what is sameness. Siddhi, asiddhi. Siddhi is success. Success means what? What do you wanted, you got it. That is called success. Correct? Success. Somebody wanted to destroy somebody, successfully finished the job. Give me the money. I met with success. Means the other fellow died, that's it. I finished the job, therefore give me. And therefore this is success. Success depends entirely upon what you want. So let us say here in life, we have different desires and we want to accomplish all of them. We want to fulfill them. So we make efforts. And as a result of our efforts, results are going to come. And the results sometimes are exactly as I wanted them, or sometimes are not. And towards both, you should have samatvam. Correct? Not easy. Understand? You are working, sweating it out to achieve a given end, planning very well. You take a lot of variables into account, including Saddam Hussein, and then very carefully you go about, and then you have got all provisions for everything, and still finally you are robbed away. You don't get that success, what you wanted, you didn't get, you lose, and that means it's very, it is disheartening. It's not one time. It is not 2 times. It is not 3 times. Whole life has got stories like this. It is like Sri Lanka-India match. First day, they finished them 240 runs, they just bundled up. And this our opening batsman going great guns. In 1 over, he took 23 runs from that fellow. And so he is going great guns. Some runs he took. And then afterwards, rains come, save them. And then the match should be continued as it is. No. They again replay the whole thing. Again Sri Lanka plays first. And the Sri Lanka again plays, and then the scores less runs now. And in India, starts, rains come. Now what happened? Match abandoned. They had 1 day reserved, extra day. That is also used up. Wrongly, foolishly, and the rule itself has to be changed, I suppose. And then afterwards now, they should have continued. The innings will be over before the rains came. And so what happens? So they work for it. They just bowl the fellows out. How much they have to work for that? Then afterwards, nothing. Even simple cracker. When we fire the cracker, we get so disappointed. It's a big thing, so very mean-looking thing it is. So this is a huge cracker it is, with a long wick, then with great caution. So because it's going to just finish your eardrum, and then with great caution we fire it, and then run away, and then hold like this. So this wick goes on making sparks, So, and it stops for a couple of 1 or 2 seconds. Then Push, 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 push. And somebody goes near, don't go near. Push, 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 push. Then it has come to almost now, you are ready. Push, push, push. Ready, it's going to go up. Push, 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 push. That's all. So nothing. Nothing. The disappointment I had as a boy, even now I remember. Even now I remember. And therefore, life starts there, I tell you. Starts there in October. And it's all little wet there. And so, I always knew, cracker we have to, and rains also come. I always used to think that there is something wrong in the whole arrangement. Why the rain should come in October? I asked one person, why don't you shift this Deepavali to some other month? So, like Americans do. Some convenient month when there are no rains, etc. Why you put it in October and it's all wet and we can't fire the crackers, all damp. That's how things are. You can understand disappointment. How many push-push? Life is full of push-push. Push-push. Whole life is like this. Slap after slap after slap after slap, knock after knock. So I thought I got it here, then suddenly here. So this is too much. Really, this is too much. This is not one time. How are you going to have a composure to just listen to this Vedanta saying that you are Nitya Shuddha, you are Purnaha, you are Anandaha, you are whole, you never change. What? You never change. What are you talking? I am changing every moment I am changing. Even now I am changing. Previously I listened to you with some kind of respect. Do you know what change I have? You never change. You are Nitya. You are Nirvikara. Shut up. Correct? And therefore, Lord Krishna is right. You have to get that somehow. Living here, you can't duck to your reality and then solve the problem, which is the reality. You have to face it. And in fact, when you begin to face it intelligently, you find there is no such thing at all as a problem as such. Even it is all how do you choose to respond, and for which you require to have a background knowledge to enjoy attitude, because samatvam is purely an attitude. It's not seen anywhere. Samatvam cannot be seen anywhere. No two twins also. Twins are not sama. Look at their fingerprints. If there is one pair of twins who have similar fingerprints, then fingerprints cannot be forensic evidence. Finished. One is enough. Exception should be one. Then it cannot be taken at all. Difference is the rule. Therefore, everything is different. Means are different. Ends are different. And the people are different. Desires are different. Everything is different. Difference is exactly what the whole thing is. And therefore, there is no samatvam. In desires, there is no samatvam. Sameness is not there. In ends, there is no sameness. In the object, there is no sameness. In the person, there is no sameness. In the desires there is no sameness because it's not the same desire you have. Therefore, where is samatva? Only in your response. In your response to situations, you can command samatva. And suppose I give advice. See, understand the difference. I don't know whether people understand these differences or not. Suppose I give advice, this is how they think Vedanta is taught. I mean, Gita is already over. So you must have samatvam. You must look at success and failure as the same thing. Is Ishvara Prasada. God's grace, God gives. You see, man proposes, God disposes. You propose and he disposes. They're all loose talking, understand? It is all pajama talking. You know the pajamas, so the pajamas when they begin to think, they think like this one. Very loose thinking. You can accommodate in each pajama, one, you got two legs, So in each one, your leg press a pumpkin. So you can accommodate. That is called pajama. Pajama. That is the thinking. It is all loose thinking. Man proposes, God disposes. Because he has no other job. He is waiting for man to propose. Then he disposes. He proposes, God does not dispose. This fellow he proposed, she disposed. So this is the so man proposes, God disposes. Kya baat karta hai log? All loose thinking, all these pumpkin accommodation, so much space. Nobody can wear these pajamas, so without the crease, with the same crease, you put a lot of starch and then iron it so many times and then moda you wear this, you just wear this after 3 minutes, wrinkles everywhere like 98-year-old lady, wrinkles everywhere. And wrinkles. Thinking, loose thinking. It's not God disposes. Really speaking, if you can propose without God, then only then only you can give a job to God. You dispose, I propose. You keep on proposing and he goes on disposing. That is his job. It's not that simple. You can't handle failure. You can't handle, it's not one-time failure. See, if it is one-time failure, just look at this simple thing. If it is a one-time effort in life, so this effort has failed to produce the result wanted, fine, you will be objective. This effort failed to produce the result. Another effort you make, there also it failed. Another effort you make, that also it failed. And then afterwards, then it is no more effort failing. It becomes slowly transferred to I am a failure. For this you don't require to live 50 years. You require to live 24 years, that's all. That's enough. Why 24? Don't ask me. Just that what came to my mouth, that's all. 24 years. I think that's enough, that's all, to say I am a failure. Till then you will have some hope. So I am a failure to say this, I am a failure, that sense of failure, sense of being nobody. So slowly you pick up. Till then you think that you are somebody, and then sense of being nobody. Few times fail, then unconscious also is there. It joins your sadness. It joins and makes the whole of you a mess. Understand? And therefore, so I am a mess, and I want what? I want what? Vedanta. And I hear Vedanta. Then what is here? You are non-mess. Okay? You never become mess. You are nirvikaraha. You understand how it doesn't work. Therefore, so this samatvam yoga uchyate seems to be is not an advice. It is a lakshanam. It is a definition. Like water is H2O. Definition. Samatvam is yoga, is a lakshana. And that means to prove a definition, you need to know how that definition comes into being. How does it come into being? How anybody could say that? Samatvam yoga uchyate. There must be some background topic which you have to cover. And there is an background there also. Something is there. Siddhi, asiddhi, success, failure. To both you are the same. Then there is samatvam. That samatvam is yoga. Yeah, how can I be the same to failure? I can't be the same to failure, and therefore I become the failure. It is not that. So I meet with failure. I am failure. So that transference takes place very quickly. Therefore, what shall we do here? So let us look at the background. So this background has got this to say. Karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palahetur bhuhu karma palahetuhu ma bhuhu ma te sangostu akarmani. This is a very important background topic. So if you understand the background topic, attitude becomes very natural. Attitude is not something forced upon. It is attitude towards money. That changes when once you know this is monopoly money. Once you know it is monopoly money, then attitude changes. There's a smile. What is a smile? You are on top of it. No problem. I don't need it. There is no fight and there is no scramble there. Understand? So, this is the great thing in the wake of certain understanding, certain attitudes that we have had before undergo a change. That for which this verse, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, we will analyze it tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.